Astrid has sent me a question. The question is, which of the 3 different Loverbellas is your favourite? The first original 2017 Loverbella doll came as a girl, blonde, Hispanic, or African American. And there was also a boy doll, Lover Bo, released, who was blonde. I think the most astonishing thing about this doll is the fact that it can develop language skills and have a live, real conversation with you, although it's a conversation in baby language with you, and that it has a capacity to develop on a level that other dolls cannot do. It clearly has been able to develop its own personality and intelligence levels. And that's why it stood out when it was released in 2017. The other 2 types of Loverbella dolls, the 2019 newborn, does not develop language skills. In fact, it doesn't speak at all. Very cute. The baby sounds are so realistic, but there's not a one-on-one interaction between parent and child that you get with the original Loverbella and Loverbo dolls. And then we have Magic Mia 2020, again, very similar to the newborn, beautiful baby language sounds, a few words, but again, does not develop in personality, and there's not a level of intelligence that's displayed or individuality by this doll as compared to the Lover Bella and Lover Bo dolls. My experience of these dolls is that I've had many Lover Bella originals, and I can say that each one has been different, each one has been unique, and they always surprise me. When I switch them on, they always have something else that they've developed in, and therefore, in my opinion, Lover Bella original tops them all. Thank you for that question, Marilyn. Marilyn is a dear Dolly sister based in the United States, and she has a lovely channel called Marilyn's Dollyland. Do tune in regularly to view Marilyn and her beautiful dolls on that channel. And in the meantime, I will answer her question. I started collecting dolls from a young age. I absolutely do not have a conscious memory of when it started, but I do know that by the age of 7, I was surrounded by dolls. Not a lot of dolls. I wouldn't have had more than 7 dolls, 7 or 8. And these dolls were given to me by friends of the family. They were given to me, they were bought for me by my parents. They were Caucasian dolls. They were skinny dolls. They were baby dolls. They weren't drinking wet, but they were baby dolls too. And I treated them as my friends, as my companions. I wasn't an only child. In fact, there were 4 of us children, but for me, my dolls were my soulmates, and I would speak to them, talk to them, read to them. I would dress them. I would clothe them and bathe them. I took them so seriously, and they gave me so much joy. I'd come home from school looking forward to getting into my little haven, my little paradise where it was just me and my dolls. And I would even make clothes for them from my own clothes. So I would cut up my clothes that I felt I didn't need. I was being naughty, and I'd learnt how to sew at school when I was probably 7 or 8. So I sewed clothes for them, and it gave me so much joy just to have something to mother, to talk to look after. I'd even make food for them, even though they were not eating dolls. I would mash up biscuits, put a little bit of water in the biscuits, and then feed them to the dolls. And then I'd have to rinse them out because if not, the biscuits would go moldy inside them. And when I was 12, I started high school. I carried on looking after my dolls. But then I had a change of school and a change of environment. And I was in a different school, a different environment, and I don't know, things just changed for me, and I didn't play with my dolls any longer and wanted to connect with my peers more. And there were a group of girls in my class who were into romance novels, and they had a little books club going where we'd swap books. I became part of that, and romance novels took over a lot of my teenage life. And they were into music, so I was into music too. And I was also into English literature academically. I loved Jane Austen books, William Shakespeare. So my teenage life was just taken up with romance novels and music and all the things that teenage girls like. And then in my young adult life, I got into singing, joined girl groups. I was doing a lot of singing, not professional singing, just as a hobby. I loved singing. So fast forward to 2020, where we're in the COVID-19 pandemic. I remember switching on the TV and a psychologist was sort of giving us advice as to how to cope with being shut down in the United Kingdom and being at home a lot more. And she suggested that we should pick up a plushie toy and give it a cuddle and give it a hug. And there's nothing to be ashamed about in doing that. And she said that if you have children who have teddy bears, pick up their teddy bears, give them a cuddle, get some comfort from that. So I was thinking, oh, I might try that. I didn't have any plush toys. I was never into plush toys as a child or even as an adult, but I did order a teddy bear from Amazon after hearing her suggestion. And when the teddy bear came, I noticed that he had no clothes on. I thought, that's a shame, he's got nothing on. And got some old pajamas out and made him some clothes out of that. And while I was doing that, it triggered a memory of me as a child cutting up my clothes, my dresses to make clothes for my dolls. And I thought, well, if the psychologist thought it was a good idea for adults to hug teddy bears and plush toys, surely she would also recommend dolls too. So I thought, that's a good idea. Okay, so how am I going to start this? Where do I begin with this? So I just went onto YouTube and I started doing a search for dolls and doll hobby. And I was amazed that there was quite a lot of people into collecting dolls. And I watched a few channels, and the first channel I watched was the Gummy channel. And that's where I was introduced to Baby Alive. So I ordered some Baby Alive from eBay, very cheap ones, and then I started watching Caleb Chung. I think it was called Thanks to Caleb Chung. Yeah, that was the channel, which is a fellow UK person who had it was more of a robot channel, but she did have dolls on there, and that's where I got introduced to Has Been My Real Baby 2000, and I started to collect Has Been My Real Baby 2000, and just started to collect dolls from there really. So that's how it all began. It began in childhood. There was a period where I wasn't into dolls, and then I went back to my childhood hobby of doll collecting at the beginning of the pandemic. So now as an adult, what joy do they bring me? I get great comfort from them. Um, and they do bring out the maternal in me. Um, real maternal feelings. And when I'm outside and it's raining and it's cold and I come in and I see them in their little cribs, all dressed up, looking cute, they just make me happy. And the more real they look, um, the more connected I feel to them. And I think I'm connected to them on an emotional level, really, especially the ones that talk. I have a lot of dolls that talk. But the reborns, I'm really warming to, and I appreciate the quietness that and the calm and the serenity that the reborns can bring into your home environment. So yeah, that's me. That's me and my doll um connection and my doll interest. I've got a question from Sunny, who's based in the United States. Would yarn hair and smooth silky hair mix? I'm thinking of rerouting my baby boy talk doll. I keep looking online for another boy baby talk doll, but consistently keep seeing girl baby talk dolls being listed. Debating even getting a cheap broken girl baby talk doll and dye the hair to brunette to match the boy baby talk doll's hair, if the hair is nice and not matted. Thank you for that question. Sunny, the idea of getting the baby girl talk doll and dyeing their hair to brunette to match the boy baby talk doll's hair. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that because you can't find a boy baby talk doll, you're thinking of making your own baby talk doll boy. And the way you would do that, you say, is by simply changing the hair color, because the difference between the Galoob baby talk doll girl, blonde, and the Galoob baby talk doll boy is his brunette hair. He's got brown, dark brown hair, and he's got freckles, and the blonde one doesn't. Okay, in relation to dyeing their hair, my experience is that human hair dyes don't work on baby dolls' hair. So what I have found that works is buying a Sharpie pen and a lot of patience, because I've done it myself on my own Galoo baby talk doll. So you buy a Sharpie pen, the color that you want. So the color you want is brown. And if you do get the blonde girl and you decide to make her into a boy, just buy one Sharpie pen should be enough. And you'll sit down and take the hair strand by strand and color it. And it'll probably take you an hour to do this or so, maybe an hour and a half. But each strand you need to color it in with the brown Sharpie pen, and you'll see that you'll have a lovely head of brown hair. And remember, Sharpie pen is permanent. Um, it may be after a year or so, you may notice that the brown may be fading away. Then you just top it up by just giving it another coloring. So that is the easiest way to change that blonde girl's hair to brunette. Um, I hope that answered that part of the question. And then you said yarn hair. I've never actually used yarn hair myself on a manufactured plastic or silicone doll. I have used yarn hair on my rag doll when I made my rag doll Nicola during lockdown. But on a rag doll, it's so much easier. You just simply cut off the wool and sew it into the hair. With a plastic doll, a rubber or silicone doll, I have seen a YouTube video which I will show you here. And basically, you are shown how to use yarn hair on a normal doll, and the lady transforms the woolly look of the yarn hair into a more straightened, kind of flat appearance so that you could use it on a plastic doll. And you're asking, would it mix well with smooth and silky hair? So I think you're saying is that the Galoob baby talk doll hair is smooth and silky. And then if you decided to reroute the boy doll that you have got, could you just leave his existing hair on and just add on yarn hair? And looking at my own Galoob baby talk doll hair, their hair texture is similar to yarn hair. So I think you could add that yarn hair on. The only issue is, how are you going to add it on? I wouldn't advise using a rooting tool, because I've rooted the heads of some of my reborn dolls, and the rooting tool is quite sharp, and I'm just concerned about the penetration of that rooting tool tip into the top of your doll. And you know the Galoob baby talk doll is animatronic. It has got electronics there, and I'm just worried about what's going on inside the head of your doll and whether there are any wires or anything that you might prick accidentally when you are rooting that yarn hair into the doll. Another option is to maybe try and glue the yarn hair to the sculpt. I have glued hair to a silicone doll's head, an animatronic doll's head. You could try the glue. It might be a bit messy, but you could try a little section of his hair, get some yarn hair, straighten it all out, and glue it to the hair, and wait 24 hours and see what it looks like. Is it messy? Is it tidy? Does it stick? You would have to clean out the area properly so there's no grease or dirt that might stop it from sticking. But the easiest alternative obviously is to just buy a blonde haired doll, darken the hair with a Sharpie pen to brunette, and then dress it as a boy, and that's your problem solved. I hope I've been able to help you in some way with this answer. Nancy, based in Missouri, United States, has asked a question. Help answer this question is to take you with me on this journey throughout my house, because my dolls are scattered all over the house in order to accommodate them. And when I say scattered, they're not just like thrown carelessly around. No, they're, grouped together in their little beds and their little cribs, but separated throughout the house in order to find space for them to, live a decent quality of life, sleep in their own beds and be comfortable. And I have to take that into account with my doll collection. Last year, 2023, I had to give a lot away because my interest changed last year. I started to get more and more interested in reborn dolls and just other types of dolls. And some of the ones that I started out with, particularly the baby born, I had to say goodbye to a lot of my baby born. I just had to either adopt them on through eBay, or at one point I did gather some together and just donated them to the local charity shop. So I'm going to just take you with me as I'm counting, and we will come to the total together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. of days ago. So that's another one. Hi guys, it's competition time. Yay! Now, some of you would have noticed that I actually counted one of my dolls twice. So the total is not 102 dolls, it's 101. Smart, aren't you? You noticed. Right. Okay, if you've noticed, all I need from you is the name of the doll that I counted twice. To know the name of the doll that I counted twice, you needed to have watched a number of my videos that I recorded recently. Once you identify the name of the doll, make sure you have subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you are a follower of me on Instagram. And if you're not, send me a follow request and I will approve it. And then send me a direct message on my Instagram with your name, your first name, the town that you live in and the country, and the answer. The first person to send me the correct answer via my Instagram by the 29th of February 2024 will get this prize. Da-na-na-na!